University of Fort Hare came into existence in 1916 and is the oldest historically black university in South Africa. Throughout its existence, Fort Hare has produced alumni who went on to prominent careers in fields as diverse as politics, medicine, literature, and art. Some alumni, like Nelson Mandela, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, Governor Mbeki, Robert Sobukwe, Mangosuthu Buthelezi, Ernest Mancoba, Dennis Brutus, Can Temba, Robert Mugabe, Herbert Chitepo, novelist Stan Lake Samkange, and the first black Zimbabwean medical doctor Tikofa Pararanyetwa are all well known. In the words of Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, and I quote, "Fort Hare was a beacon for African scholars from all over Southern, Central, and East Africa. For young black South Africans like myself, it was Oxford and Cambridge, Harvard and Yale all rolled into one."
In South Africa, aquaculture is currently a buzzword with government, as it is a means to poverty alleviation, job creation, and commercial scale development. It forms part of Operation Pakisa's mandate to develop the blue economy and is therefore high on the agenda in many state departments. The South African aquaculture sector is a growing industry, both in terms of commercial enterprises and food security initiatives. Unfortunately, the training and mentoring of young black researchers and their integration into farm management has been rather slow. This has resulted in the commercial sector being grossly undertransformed and desperately requiring redress. These skills shortages and accompanying transformation challenges in the marine sector were recognized in the 2014-2019 DST Marine Research Plan. While the aquaculture sector and much wider marine science community is showing slow progress in terms of transformation, particularly of young black females, Fort Hare is making a positive impact. Currently, 8 black postgraduate students, of which 5 are female, are pursuing projects in aquaculture research. Despite the Eastern Cape not being one of the major provinces responsible for aquaculture production in South Africa, the temperate climate does, however, make it favorable for a number of species, including marine fish and abalone. With 800 kilometers of coastline, 3 ports, 2 industrial development zones, and an academic community geared to maritime research, the province is perfectly positioned to take advantage of the new interest in developing a maritime economy. The University of Fort Hare is well positioned both strategically and by locality, in that we have access to academic and technical expertise in the aquaculture sector, as well as being close to a number of commercial, freshwater and marine aquaculture businesses.
Hi, I'm Prof Vine from the Department of Zoology and Entomology, Faculty of Science and Agriculture at the University of Fort Hare. My research focuses on pretty much anything aquatic. However, my passion lies in the field of marine aquaculture or mariculture. And during my time at Fort Hare, I've been very fortunate enough to be able to establish a number of key collaborations and partnerships with researchers and from academia, from government and from industry, where depending on the role player, we've been fortunate to be able to get bursaries for our students, provide research cost funding, and in the case of our industry partners, provide an opportunity for our students to be based on a commercial facility to be able to conduct their research, where they will obviously learn a lot of the practical skills involved with the academics that go with it. As Fort Hare has a campus in East London, it was common sense for me to nurture the relationship with the commercial aquaculture farm Kingfish Enterprises, situated in the East London Industrial Development Zone, or ELIDZ. This farm primarily focuses on producing yellowtail kingfish and dusky cob, but are also investigating a number of other marine species, including the Pacific oyster and abalone. Based on signed MOUs and funding from both the university and elsewhere, my research group has established the Fort Hare Aquaculture Research Unit, where we can conduct research which is driven by the local aquaculture industry. Currently, all research conducted by my research group not only creates student graduation outputs, but many of my students have published their research in major international aquaculture journals. Students are also exposed to working on a commercial farm, which not only provides context of what it means to possibly pursue a career in aquaculture, but it also enhances their academic exposure while adding to their technical skill set.
Hello, I am Ayanda Matilda, a zoology honors student in the Department of Entomology and Zoology at Fort Hare Alice campus. I chose the project in aquaculture because I find the whole concept of aquaculture very interesting. My project involves the Pacific oyster, but with no oyster hatcheries in South Africa. All the oyster spat has to be imported into the country, and that is very costly and sporadical, as the pandemic has shown with the interruption of international flights. My research is being conducted at a recently established oyster hatchery here in King's Enterprises in the East London IDZ. What I'll be doing is investigating a range of egg fertilization periods in combination with aeration, with different aeration levels. The aim of this is to improve the quality as well as the survival rate of the fertilized oyster eggs.
Hi, my name is Bongilanga Mngushu, and I am from a town called Kwerok in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa. I am a Master of Science student at the Department of Zoology and Entomology at the University of Fort Hare. South Africa is a home to a number of abalone farms, and these farms are located at the coastal towns of South Africa. They usually pump in water from the ocean through their tanks and back into the ocean again. There are usually at certain times there are usually upwelling of nutrient-rich water to the surface, and this results in the proliferation of microalgae, which then causes toxins to the sea life. These events are known as harmful algal blooms. When the harmful algal blooms occur, the abalone farms are forced to switch off the water from the ocean. And the results of this on the growth, survival, and the biochemical stresses of the abalone are not known. My research will be conducted at the HIK abalone farm in Hermanus in the Western Cape province. I will be looking at the effects of the water-off events on the growth, survival, and the biochemical stresses of the water of the abalone.
Hello everyone, my name is Zida Zozo. I'm a PhD student. I come from a small town called Umzimkulu in the beautiful kingdom of KwaZulu-Natal. As Prof Vine said, my project is looking at larval settlement. While abalone ranching and stock enhancement program typically tend to use juvenile abalones that are farmed on land and placed into the sea at dedicated ranching site. The seeding of these juvenile abalones is, however, both expensive and time-consuming. On the other hand, seeding larvae of farmed abalone will dramatically reduce the cost and the effort that is required. But for larval ranching to be considered successful, we need to ensure that when larvae are released, they circle in the immediate area and don't get washed away by the current. My experiment was conducted at Wild Coast Abalone Farm and Kingfish Enterprises, where I am trying to better understand and propose the ways in which we can improve larval survival and settlement in the sea and also in the hatchery. Thank you.
Hi, Hi, my name is Sharon Bajaba from Harare in Zimbabwe, and I've just finished my master's in zoology. Like Ayanda, my project also focuses on ideas around using abalone larvae for seeding programs. I conducted my experiments at Wild Coast Abalone Farm and Kingfish Enterprises and focused on different transport methods, then assessing their survival and settlement and their success to reach settlement. I looked at the effects of temperature, methods of transport, which is in the bucket of seawater, and on screens and their stocking densities. I found out that the settlement and survival of larvae does not change when they are being transported on a screen, which means that the large numbers of larvae can be transported with a much cheaper way and easier way compared to using buckets. Thank you.
My name is Massimo. I'm doing masters. I'm from Bakawat in Eastern Cape. I decided to do aquaculture because of its benefits and opportunities. For the past few years, the cohort that I'm using, Pseudodia Thomas Hesse, have been studied by Prof Vine's group because of they want to use it as a live feed for marine finfish. What other students noticed when they were using the species or studying the community of the species was that they were difficult to count and manipulate due to their rapid and erratic movements. My project is based here in Kingfish Enterprise, where I'm investigating the effect of different anesthetics on PSI with the aim of investigating the optimum anesthetic dose, which doesn't have an effect on fecundity growth and survival.
Hi, I am Abigail Gingolo, a master's student from Kohana at Mtata in the Eastern Cape. The reason I chose aquaculture is because of the love and passion I have for aquatic organisms, and also one day I dream of owning a farm. Recirculating aquaculture system I use around the world for the culture of marine finfish, such as yellowtail kingfish, Seriola lalendi. One of the biggest costs of farming marine finfish is the feed, as the diet is generally high in protein, which comes from fish meal, which is expensive. It is therefore critical for the fish to obtain sufficient protein and energy in order to produce best growth and feed conversion ratio. My study is based in Eastern Land. I visit at Kingfish Enterprises, and the aim of the project is to assess different protein and energy levels in the diet of Seriola lalendi, which is the yellowtail kingfish, and also assess the effect on the growth, survival, and feed conversion ratio. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Abigail Onomu. I'm from Edo State, Nigeria. I'm a PhD student at the University of Fort Hare. Going on to my research, the benefits of integrated multitrophic aquaculture, IMTA, are becoming more and more evident all over the world. IMTA involves culturing animals with different trophic levels in the same water with the aim of reducing nutrient loading while maximizing output. Example of IMTA is the co-culture of sea cucumber and abalone. Abalone produce nutrient-rich feces, which creates a layer of sludge beneath abalone baskets, which imparts the tank water quality. Frequent removal of this sludge is labor and capital intensive, and this sludge adds up to the nutrient load of the water that is being flushed out of the system. On the other hand, sea cucumbers are detritivores and have the ability to consume sediment with high organic matter. Neosticopus grammatus is a sea cucumber endemic to South Africa. It has been identified as a species with aquaculture potential. I'm investigating whether the co-culture of sea cucumber and abalone has a positive effect on the health of abalone, its growth, water quality, and sludge level. My research is being conducted at White Coast Abalone Farm. Should the research meet its objective, its implication on farm management and subsequently profitability will be of great significance. Thank you.
My name is Emmanuel, and I'm a final year PhD student from the University of Fort Hare, South Africa. My final experiment in my PhD research is being conducted here at Kingfish Enterprises. My PhD project focuses on the identification and the screening of potential probiotics that can be isolated and that can be used in the early larval stages of sea urchins. The sea urchins that I'm working with are the Tribusis gratilla. This is the collector sea urchin. So far I've isolated and I've screened potential probiotics which are isolated from the lab. And my last experiment is to test this against a control strain which I will use to test in the larval stages of the sea urchin. The problem with sea urchin larvae is the presence of opportunistic bacteria in the larval stage, which the addition of probiotics could limit this opportunistic bacteria in the larval rearing tanks. So after I'm done with my PhD, I'm hoping to pursue a postgraduate fellowship in this research area, because I feel that this research area is a research niche that is underexplored.
So, if you have an interest in aquaculture or all things aquatic, then you might consider studying at the University of Fort Hare in the Faculty of Science and Agriculture by pursuing a BSc degree with a major in zoology. The first year covers general aspects of animal biology and diversity, where you would normally do laboratory-based practicals. In your second year as a student, you are exposed to aspects of freshwater ecology as well as a course on marine biology and ecology. A field trip to a local estuary helps reinforce the classroom lectures and provides a fantastic opportunity for the students to experience science in action. In the third year, those majoring in zoology will attend courses which include aspects of an aquatic theme in the fields of biodiversity and conservation, ecophysiology research techniques, and aquaculture. The third year aquaculture module focuses on understanding water quality, system design, and site selection. Students then attend a field trip to Grahamstown, where they are hosted by Rhodes University and Aquaculture Innovations and are shown around their facilities. After graduating with a Bachelor in Science, students can then enroll for a BSc Honours Zoology program, which also has a course on aquaculture. Here, students get to learn about species selection, biosecurity, and feed development. Honours students are also required to complete a research project, which can also be aquaculture related, the theme of which is generally dependent on what research programs are happening at the time. Students who obtain a 65% pass for their BSc Honours can then apply to do a Masters in Zoology on an aquaculture project. However, the number of projects are limited and therefore there may be strong competition. Similarly, availability and awarding of PhD projects are also limited, and only the best candidates will be considered. Students who intend on pursuing a postgraduate degree are required to apply widely for bursaries or scholarships, as there is no guarantee that any offered project will come with its own bursary. If you are thinking about possibly starting or furthering your studies at Fort Hare, or establishing teaching or research collaboration with us, or maybe just wanting to find out what the institution has to offer, please use the following links to access the University and Department of Zoology and Entomology websites.